I want to talk a little bit about another case. Actually, I want to talk a lot about it. This is one of the craziest cases I think I have ever heard. It's a case out of Nevada. This lady named Devyn Michaels is, let me just tell you, you may need a notebook for this to keep up with
Is
this
that
name.
her only name?
That is not her only name. So she is a former adult TV star. She is on trial for murder. She's also gone by Nikki Fairchild and Tracy Travar. I think it's how you say it, Travar. So get this though, she is charged with bludgeoning and decapitating her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, I'm sorry, as he prepared to move into her Vegas home. But that's not where the craziness ends. So Jonathan Willett, that's her ex-boyfriend. That is who she is charged with killing. He's trying to move into her home. She has two kids, two daughters with this guy, Jonathan. Okay, so you've got Devyn and Jonathan. They got two kids, two daughters. She is married, though, to Devier. Devier, her husband, is also Jonathan's son. So I think that means he's stepdad and uncle. Ew, ew, it just gives me the heebies. Yeah, I know, gross. So Devier is Jonathan's son from another mother, basically. Devyn has said that at times that she married Devier out of convenience for insurance, at other times that they started dating, had a wonderful relationship. So we don't really know. But what we do know is that they were carrying on an affair for years. She was dating Jonathan, Devier's dad, while she was having an affair with Devier. All right, so now that we've got our scorecards a little bit straight, let's talk about what's happening. So Jonathan is moving into their home, to Devier's and Devyn's home. Prosecutors gave their opening statements and they said that Devyn killed Jonathan because she was unhappy that he was moving in with her and her lovely husband and children. She thought it was going to disrupt this fabulous home life that they had created, this wonderful, functional home life with, stepdad and uncle. She confessed. She confessed to clubbing Jonathan over the head while he was lying on his stomach getting a massage. And I can't wait for this trial to talk about who's giving him a massage and what's happening. So she's giving him a massage when she clubs him over the head. Very suspect. But yeah, she denied decapitating him and denied hiding his head. The police have still not been able to find his head or the murder weapon, but we know a little bit more. She's accused of taking his head from the scene and throwing it in the trash, where it was likely picked up by a trash service. But remember, they still haven't found it. So let's talk about what happened for a minute and how we got to this trial. So she pled guilty. Before we talk about the facts and what's happening at trial, let's talk about how she got into trial. So she pleads guilty to second-degree murder. Okay, normally you'd get a 15-year sentence with parole eligibility. Pretty good deal if you did this. But at sentencing, she apologized, said she's innocent, and the case went to trial. So let's play SOT 1, and then I want to talk about whether or not the judge could take this plea or not.
I'm so sorry, but I didn't do this, and I didn't know this would end up like this. I really didn't. And I will forever apologize to the family. But I don't know how to fix any of this anymore. I don't.
Judge, I'm not comfortable with this record. I'm willing to let her out of her plea if the court is inclined.
I don't know how to fix this.
All right. It's just, this wouldn't be appropriate.
I completely understand.
Let's go to trial.
Mr. Giordani. All right. Ms. Michael, Judge Mr. Giordani says that he's willing to let you out of your plea and he's willing to try this case. And you understand that he's willing to try this case on an open murder. So a jury can convict you of a first-degree murder. Do you understand that? Or do you want to talk to Mr. Patrick about it?
I don't want to talk to Mr. Patrick. He didn't listen to anything I said.
Miss Michaels, I need you to understand what I'm saying to you and answer my question.
Yes.
Do you want to withdraw your plea and go to trial?
Yes, please.
All right.
Oh, be
Right?
careful what you wish for, ex-porn star. Come on now.
Yes. So Mark, can she accept responsibility and still maintain innocence, or are those things really legally incompatible?
There's a way to do it, kind of, if you work it all out, not with what she did. Everybody did the right thing. The prosecutor knew that she would then attack that plea as not freely and voluntarily done because she was not accepting responsibility. Everybody did the right thing. Be careful what you wish for, because now she's going to go to trial. They have her admission of hitting him over the head while he's getting a massage. And then what? Aliens came in and chopped his head off? With all the evidence that they have, she's going to wish that she took that 15 years.
Yeah. No, she is going to wish that. John, I mean, would the judge have been required to reject the plea once she said that she was innocent? Or, I mean, could the judge have accepted it?
Let me just say that I feel a Professor Ashley rant somewhere in the future of us. So I like this. This is a little bit of a quiz. Okay. Could the judge have accepted that plea, even though her allocution was, I'm innocent, I'm innocent? He probably could have.
Should he have? Let's do it that way. Should he have?
Should he have? That's an even bigger question. So I can't really step in the judge's shoes. I can tell you as a defense attorney, if I were standing next to my client and my client had this outburst and she couldn't allocute and she was professing her innocence, after I broke a rib by doing this.
Right. I would have taken my shoe out and started clubbing her over the head. But
after I did that, I would help interpret what I think the clerk was saying, was trying to say, hey, asshole, you don't really want to be doing what you're doing.
Right.
And after all that, if she still went through with it, I'd be like tendering my resignation, because I agree with Mark. This is not going to go well for her at all at trial. And the attorney, we have to worry about our reputation and getting sued for incompetence or any sort of malpractice for letting that happen. So there's a whole lot in the mix here.
I'm just glad I was not in that courtroom, because I would have been like you. What are you thinking? But, I always say a lot of times you're in a courtroom because you didn't make good decisions. So we're asking a lot when we expect people to make good decisions when they're in that courtroom. But let's talk a little bit about the trial, because these are some of the most wild facts I think I've heard in a long time. So the prosecutor gave an opening, and he had, of course, one of the greatest pieces of evidence ever, her confession.
The head. Oh, no, sorry.
Her confession. She said she bashed him. She said she didn't decapitate him, but she bashed him. So let's see if we can play SOT 2, that opening statement.
The defendant acknowledged that she realized John was actually moving in, that at the time of the murder, she was giving John a massage on the bed. John was lying on his stomach, not a threat, in the midst of a massage, face down, unexpecting, and the defendant admits that she returned to the bed, bashed him over the head with that club or stick, and that John went limp at that time. She refused to tell detectives what she did with John's head or with the weapon, that those items were never recovered. You will learn that this is the reality of the situation before John was killed, and that the defendant wanted John out of the picture. This is the future that she saw, that she wanted, and the only way to have that future was with John out of the picture.
So we also know in these opening statements that they talked about this long affair that all the different people had, and how Devyn actually hated his father. But then the defense gets up, and so the defense is great here. They said there's no evidence, no blood, and that she cannot operate this power saw. Do we have SOT 3?
You've got this complex systems. You've got the musculature. You have the veins, the arteries. You've got the trachea. You've got the vertebrae, very thick ligaments. Cartilage. It takes a lot. Hand-powered saw can do it. What's interesting, and you will see, and it will play out, there's no blood spatter in the room consistent with use of power tool. Apparently there's an assumption that this decapitation occurred on the bed. I submit to you, when you see the evidence, it's not consistent with that. You've got a power saw going in the neck there, and you're cutting through it. There's going to be stuff all over the place. They didn't find anything. Devyn is 5'3" and weighs 130 pounds, something like 120. And again, and this will be for the state, because it's the state and the state alone that has to prove this case.
That's a
Can I
tough
jump
case.
in here? I have so many thoughts. Oh my God.
Million.
So many. All right. First of all, I would have immediately said to the judge, just so we're clear, my client wants to go to trial. I am recommending that she takes this deal. Just so we're crystal clear. I would have said that right in front of the judge. The judge is not the finder of fact. The jurors are. They wouldn't have been there, so it wouldn't have prejudiced her in any way. That's number one I need to make clear. Second of all, unless they have David Copperfield on the team, they've got no shot. You can't make her confession disappear. So you've got that. So even if she can't operate a saw like he's claiming, even if they buy that malarkey, when she admits that she bangs the guy over the head, she's done. So none of this matters to me. Plus, it's not the only evidence. The guy that they're trying to frame like the Mona Lisa had his phone where he was at, and he never moved, so he couldn't have done it. Plus, this woman, the accused, has all the guy's possessions wrapped up in plastic with blood on it. They've got a ton of evidence. This is a slow, guilty plea, ultimately.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely a difficult case to defend. But, what if, they're saying that Devyn is the one that really did this or someone else really did it. And so, I think they've got to have Devyn take the stand to try and explain that and try and explain this false confession. And they've heard from Devyn. Devyn testified. He said he began his relationship with Devyn at age 19. He admitted to lying about the relationship. He admitted he didn't get along with his father. He also confirmed that he works with tools for cutting wood and drywall. He denied killing his father, but he admitted, he's got means, he's got opportunity, he has motive. So let's listen to SOT 4, which is where he denies killing his father.
At some point prior to that, had he learned that you had actually married Nikki?
Yes, sir.
How was that conversation, or if you had a conversation about it?
He sent me a text message asking or saying, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not right. And I responded with half of what you know is true and the other half isn't.
So your dad clearly knew you were formally married.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the date you got married?
No, sir.
Did you ever get divorced?
No, sir.
Is that something you would like to do?
After this, yes.
Okay. Once this trial is done?
Yes.
Okay. Look at me. Did you kill your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in killing your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in what happened to his body after?
No, sir.
Pass witness.
He looks believable. That better be a damn good cross-examination against that kid. But I want to talk about Dr. Burns before we move on. Forensic anthropologists who I love it when they testify. They're the ones that talk about bones. Essentially, when weapons go into bones, they're the ones that come and talk. And she testified that there were 2 tools used in this decapitation, a hand-powered knife and a mechanically powered saw. And I think one of the things that really undercut the defense's opening is that this lady was able to testify that the mechanical saw actually does the work for the user. And I think we've got her testimony at SOT 5.
I've stood next to you. You're a petite individual. Is it possible for a petite individual to have decapitated
Well,
in this way?
mechanically powered saws do the work for you. So the energy transfer is coming from the saw. So, and they're made so that many different types of people can use them to do, whatever it is they're going to do with that saw. So many different people could use a mechanically powered saw to cut through hard materials such as wood or bone.
So it wouldn't be impossible for a smaller female to do so, correct?
I don't know if I want to comment on that specifically, but the energy transfer from the mechanically powered saw makes it so many different types of people can operate that tool.
Objection. She's a tool expert also?
You don't need an
Wait,
expert.
what?
But you don't need an expert for that, Mark.
No, it's helpful. But it hurts. It hurts the defense. Where's the objection? How is she an expert? She knows screwdrivers also and pliers? What's her expertise?
You start off in voir dire and you ask anybody if they've ever chopped down a tree or seen a tree chopped down, and then you ask, did you do it with a butter knife or did you use an actual tool? You don't need an expert to figure that one out. That's a horrible piece of her defense.
So what do you think? Do you guys think that this is just one of those rare cases where both are actually guilty? Maybe the boyfriend, husband, and the lady, they're both guilty?
Guilty as hell.
Both
of them. Both.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In other words, if the government thought they had enough against him, he'd be sitting there. I don't think that the evidence pointed to that, but it almost doesn't matter because she's the only one on trial. And even if the theory is they both did it, she played a role. She's guilty.
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
No.
That's the defense?
You're missing one of the craziest cases that we've seen. So we're going to keep paying attention to this one because it's definitely crazy.